good word. They do every Sunday morning. Bring in their stuff and pass out these deals all over the place. Like that. Every Sunday night I forget to do them now. He's one of those guys right there, quick through what you see up here. We're making two announcements. We're going to have the 4th annual two-man best ball tournament at tea time at 8 o'clock at Buena Vista Golf Course. And it's on May the 30th. Registration fee is $45 due by May the 20th. So Marcus is putting this on. Or if you have any questions, see him. And Buena Vista, that's a nice golf course out there. Also, let me make some more announcements. If you didn't see this morning, the hummingbird feeder, not just a bird feeder. I was afraid when I let go of that, it's just going to crash to the ground. One little hummingbird off me. Anyways, or butterfly. Put stuff in here. This is butterfly right there. That's the thing for Mother's Day, and also it's a fundraiser for the youth. And then they also have some decorative jars out there on the table. Maybe you saw them when you were leaving this morning. You buy them for Mother's Day, or you just buy them to have them if you want, and whatever you like to do with them. This, I don't know if it's, is that a fundraiser also?
That's just so
That's
that we have
just so you have something. And if you'll notice, in the bulletin, Sister Claudia, she did one of her best drawings right there. I wrote Mummy. She brought that in to me, and I said, "Did you draw that?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay." Yeah, you guys do something. It works out. And also we have the homeless ministry. Is the toiletries out there? We've got a ton of stuff out there, and that's good. We're going to pack all that up, and at the end of the year, there'll be something every month. We won't just wait till the end of the year, to that one week to do it. So anyway, Sister Claudia's in charge of that. Heartland Christian Camp, they showed a video, a commercial that Nolan made last Sunday morning, I think it was. And man, I'm telling you, I've got emails from all over the state of people saying, "Man, that was great." That was a ballpark. But no, a guy that goes to the New Hope Church, he works at BC, he does all of their commercials and stuff, and he asked, "Nolan, hey, you want to make a commercial about Heartland Camp?" "Yeah, I'll do that." So anyway, he's all into that kind of stuff. He's going to be doing a play here at BC before long. When does it open, son? Tuesday. Goes to this next week. He's in a play down there at BC, and he enjoys that kind of stuff. And that's good. I'm glad he enjoys it. And I'm glad he's getting involved. Newwood Cafe, Sister Betty here, and Sister Laverne Mendez being there this week. And I know look forward to that. Oh, it's fried chicken. Where's the lady?
It's still the end of this week.
Oh, it is?
It's for May. It's just a day.
Okay, what do I? Fried chicken. Yeah, I like that too. Food. We had good sandwiches today. I didn't know Mountain Market. I think she got them from Mountain Market. They make Subway sandwiches and all that. They were really good. And chips and soda. We had a good time of fellowship. And everybody just jumped in. Brother Sanchez came down. And he was putting down the sticky stuff all around all the spots. I said, "Brother, what are you doing?" He said, "Well, I can't stay home all day long. I'm going to come down here." And he said, "Pastor, when you get the rest of it, call me, because I can't stay in the house all day." I said, "Okay, brother, I'll do it." I'm glad to be down here. We can learn something from these older guys that know what they're doing, because I have no clue about it. Well, Fox was here. Yeah, he came back tonight. I'm glad to see him. I hope we didn't work too hard. Yeah. Brother Ray was down here. He was, boy, those guys were, I didn't. I asked one of the guys, I said, how many times you did this? He said, "Oh, Brother Oliver's driving a little roller." I said, "How many times you done this?" He said, "Count this time." I said, "Yeah, this is it." They were giving him a hard time. And Brother Robert got on and said, he said, "Now you watch. Robert, get on this thing, you act like a pro." And yep, sure enough. Yeah, well, anyway, sometimes these guys don't. But it was kind of tough. I was trying to direct him, and you just barely turn that thing, and oh man, you're cutting through the asphalt the wrong way. Anyways, we got it. It's good. It's nice. You look at it out there. We got the big part of it done. The majority of it. The real deep, thing that I call PG&E. I don't know if I told you that. I said, "Hey, we got a problem out here in our parking lot." And I told it John had said. And they said, you do? And I said, yeah, well, you guys put in all of our electrical. Somehow you didn't pack it right, and now our parking lot, there's a dip in it. You know, like it's just sunk. So, and they sent the dude out here. I showed it to him. He said, oh, we didn't do this. I said, oh, I'm pretty sure you did. That's the electrical box. You guys run that, don't you? Yeah. I said, go out there to the manhole thing out there. And he said, well, we didn't do this. I said, well, I think you did. He said, no, if we did it, we done it right. He was really one of the kind of guys. And I said, well, we've done this. That's probably did it. And then come find out we did it. So I figured if we get them to take care of it for nothing, man, we could. I figured the worst thing you could say no, not quite as mean as he did, but just say no. They said, yeah, we did it. We've done it for the first time. And I know we didn't do it. So anyway. But we're going to fill in all those cracks out there in the parking lot here in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to put a story coating of the dark stuff on it and seal it all and make it last for a few more years, and then eventually do it. $58,000 a lot of money, and I just didn't have it in my checking account to go ahead and take care of that in the church. So anyways, we'll just wait on that. Well, anyway, beautiful love is what we're talking about tonight. And during Jesus' last visit to the town of Bethany, Mary wanted to show her love for him. That's why she was doing this. Because this stuff that this spikenard was not cheap stuff. So she wanted to show her love for him. She wanted to anoint his feet. The disciples, they were angry. They said, you know, maybe they were thinking legalistically. You know, we could have sold that. We could have give this to the poor, money to the poor. But Jesus told them to stop troubling her, for she had done a good work for me. And another translation says that she had done a beautiful thing to me. And that's what she done, because you know she did this because it was coming from her heart. Right. She wasn't trying to be flashy. She wasn't trying to say, "Oh, look what I've done for Jesus," or "Look at this expensive stuff that I've purchased and I brought." No, she was doing this from her heart. And you know, sometimes, you know, wouldn't you like to be able to do something for Jesus to show him how much you love him? I mean, this is really something. Well, your time, your talent, your treasure. It doesn't matter if it's a costly or inexpensive, whether others understand it or criticize it. Whatever is given from the heart of love is a beautiful thing for him, and he knows that. He knows it. You know, like they say, you know, give with a, give your tithes. You know, happy, give your tithes. Not I wish I could keep this money, buy me a big screen TV. You know, if that's what you're thinking, don't do it. You know, because you're doing it for the wrong reason. But, you know, give the money that belongs to God. And, you know, the things that he only asks us for 10%. R.J. Letourneau, he was a guy who had an earth moving company in Texas, and he told God, if you'll bless this company, I'll give you 90%. Right. And so he gave 90%. He was still a guy, a multi-millionaire. His children still won't ever spend all the money because God blessed him. Now, I would recommend you probably do that, but that's between you and God. If you want to do it, that's up to you. Well, our first thing is give him your time. The Bible says in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3, "Blessed is he that readeth, and he that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." The time is at hand. You know, and God, give him your time, the time that you have. My biggest thing was we don't work on Sunday. I don't go to work on Sunday. We don't change oil. I don't do anything on Sunday. I go home, I eat, and about that big lazy chair, about 1:30 or so, and I'm just kind of nodding off and on all day. By the way, on ABC there was chick flicks on all day, and I saw about 3 or 4 of them partly through. You know, about this was all for girls. When I got in there, Melissa and Abigail were already taking a nap, and Abby watching it. But give him, today, we took our time, we give God our time, and I appreciated what you guys did, and I know that, maybe some people would have found fault with that, but we didn't really have much of a choice. We had a small window, and I really, really appreciate all the things that came out. The time is at hand for us to be busy about God's work, and that was God's work. It needed to be done. I couldn't have done it by myself. Me and brother Robert, we couldn't have done that by ourselves. We just couldn't have done it. And I was so glad that it just seemed like everything just worked, and I was really appreciative of that. The time is at hand. You know what? You only have 168 hours in a week. Seems like a lot, but you know what? It goes just like that. Tomorrow's already Monday. And before I know it, it'll be Friday again, you know, and it's just, you know, and I'm kind of, well, I'm different, I'm kind of weird, I guess. But if I do anything out of the ordinary, I don't sleep the night before. I don't. Like, we're going to go to the same meeting. Sunday night, I won't sleep, probably all night. Because Monday's not a normal day for me. I don't know why I'm that way. Because my mind just never shuts off. I just keep thinking about it, just scenario after scenario after scenario about what's going to go on. And you know, like if I've got something I'm going to do, like if I'm going to do something different during the week, then I won't sleep. I don't know why I'm that way. You know, my mind just keeps going all night long. I just keep just flopping around, tossing and turning. Finally, I get up and say, I'm done sleeping. I'm going to go out in the living room and try to change my mind, get something, you know, get something going here. But the Bible tells us, we all know that we have to get 168 hours in a week, but the Bible commands us to give a tenth of that, and I know all of us fall short. That's 16.8 hours a week for the Lord. I was thinking, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of hours. Well, I thought, well, I'm down here every day during the week. I guess we're about pretty close to that. But you know, I know that we all fall short of that. But the signs of the times are everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know, and before long, time will have passed you by. I can remember when we moved to California. I can remember I'd never been into a house that had all tile floors throughout the house. I mean the little slap down tiles, not the nice floor tiles like that. And we were in that house, and Dad said, "This is where we're going to rent this house." And I said, "Where's the closet?" And he said, "Well, they don't have carpet." I said, "Why?" I mean, I'd never been in a house like that before, and because back in the East you had air conditioning because it's so humid. And I said, "And why is that air conditioner putting water on the floor? I mean, what's it doing? It just felt sticky." He said, "Well, that's a swamp cooler." I said, "Well, maybe it belongs in the swamp. It don't belong here." He said, "What is it?" So he didn't know. He'd never seen one either. Walked over and said, "That water's going to be running through this thing all day long. And we're going to hear that thing go like that all night." It was, you know, throughout the whole house. And I said, "I don't think it's going to work." And I can remember the first morning I got up and my blanket was wet. Or it felt wet, you know. You've been there. Don't look at me like I'm stupid. You've all been in the house. But I thought, man, I remember laying there. I thought, you know what, we goofed up. Dad missed the calling. He goofed up. He didn't know what he was doing. It wasn't God that told him this. I don't know who told him this. He ate something wrong right before me. I'm pretty sure that this was not right. We were looking at these pictures like Normandy. Way over there on the other side of Sterling. It's good, but I'm telling you, it's something. I mean, man,
It was awful. It was awful.
It was awful. It was awful. No, but you know, but I can remember that just like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And here's what, 31 years ago. 31 when we moved here in 1984. We rolled into Bakersfield in August of 1984, and I thought, you know what, Dad missed it. He goofed up. What was he thinking? Why didn't you know, my mother was crying the whole way. We drove over the hills and, what are we doing? And I was riding in the car and Mom said, "Well, and there it is." And I said, "What is it?" I said, "What's all those windmills there? Were they pumping water?" Because the only time you saw a windmill back east is when you had a well, and the wind would blow every day, all day, and then you pump water out of your well. And I said, "They've got that many wells on the side of the hill." And I remember it was just brown. It was in the summertime. I said, "Where's the green grass?" You know, I never knew anybody that had a sprinkler system. It rains every week there. I remember the last summer we were there, last time we went back, Melissa, that's the first year she went back, and the wheat grows up about 3 foot tall back there. And the water was within an inch of the top of it. And she said, "They must have overwatered that." I said, "That's rain. The rain." And she said, "Well, how are they going to cut it?" I said, they're going to pray the rain recedes, the water recedes, like Noah did, and they're going to get in there and try to cut it. But you know, it was just a culture shock. But you know, that seems just like yesterday.
Yep.
Seems just like yesterday. We got married. We talked about the wedding. The guy, I told the guy, they said, "Well," I said, "I got married here." And me and Melissa, "Did we stand down there?" And we were here. And I said, "Yeah, let's sing a song to her." And he said, "Oh, what did you sing?" And I told him, I said, "Oh, that was special." I said, "Yeah, it was. It was pretty special, you know." But it just seems like yesterday. And now he was here, what, 34 years later? Oh, 23 later, it's only almost 23 years, 23 years this year, but it just seems like yesterday. I can remember when Austin was born. I can remember when Nolan used to say, my hands are dirty, my hands are sticky. Yeah, my hand, you get someone to say, my hands are sticky, man, it's just a little spot there, please wipe it off, But I just, you can remember when your kids were young, I can remember when Christina and Carmen were little, little kids, and some of the rest of you. But it's just time flies, whether you like it or not, it just goes by so quick. Well, the signs of the time are everywhere. The Bible tells us in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5, this know also, in the last days perilous times will come. This is talking about right now. Okay? For men shall be lovers of pleasure, or rather should be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasting, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, great, equally high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. And as I was going through that, I thought, you know what? I don't know if you've done it before, but I looked up what each one of those was. Boasting, boasters, to vaunt oneself, to brag, to hype, to flaunt, to promote. Proud, having or displaying excess self-respect, or blasphemers, defamation or evil speaking in general, a word of evil omen, disobedient, meaning a lack of regard to authority or rulership, unthankful, not expressing a feeling of gratitude, unholy, not exalted or worthy of complete devotion of oneself and godless and unrighteous world, without natural affection. And this thought came to my mind. I don't know if you'll remember it. Susan Smith. You remember her? The classification was she was a murderer. And she claimed that a black man had stole her car and kidnapped her 2 sons. Remember that? Number of victims, 2. Date of murder was October 24th, 1994. Date of arrest was November 3rd, 1994. Date of birth, September 26, 1971. The victims profile. The victims that were killed. The ones that she murdered. Her 2 sons. Michael Daniel was 3 years old and Alexander Tyler was 14 months old. The method of murder, drowning. She strapped her sons into a car seat and let them roll into a lake. Location was Union County, South Carolina, United States, USA. Status was she was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for killing her 2 sons. Strapped her 3-year-old son and a 14-month-old son in the back seat of her car. Drove it off into a lake. I remember seeing her. Remember that? I remember seeing her. Please help me find my son. Please take out my son. Please bring him back. All that stuff. And I thought to myself, is she legit? I didn't know that she'd done it. Is she? Is this real? Something really? That was about the time when people were hijacking cars, stealing cars. But even a bad guy would have dropped the kids off somewhere. He wasn't one of them. But you know what? That right there shows you without natural affection. That's not right. That's not natural. A mother doesn't do that kind of stuff. Well, she's got 30 years to life to think about what she's done. And think going to things, those kids won't have to be with her anymore. They're at home with Jesus. They're a lot better off. Well, truce breakers, one who are violent and who violates a truce, a covenant, or an engagement, false accusers, making groundless accusations and unfounded accusations. Incontinent, lacking self-restraint or uncontrolled, fierce, having displayed intense or ferocious aggressiveness, despisers of those that are good. They just don't respect anything that has to do with God or anything that has to do with right. Traitors, a person who betrays another or cause or another's trust in themselves. Heady of liquor and potent and intoxicating, somebody that's drinking, high-minded, having strong moral principles, but also has civil liberties. Lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. They love pleasure like what the world has to give them, and less of the flesh. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away, stay away from them. This right there, as you go down through that list, you can think the things you've heard in the news. Think people you've heard that have these problems. And I was thinking as I was going through this message this afternoon, as I was looking, going back over it, I thought, you know what? There's so many of those things that are happening right now. And he said that in the last days, perilous times will come. Things that you wouldn't believe that normally would happen are happening. Things that are going on around us are, that you wouldn't even believe are happening. I don't know if you know this or not, but Bakersfield is one of the biggest trafficking areas in the United States of America. Bakersfield. Well, that's one thing we got our name in the paper about. It's terrible. But they traffic people. Trafficking of people, and you know what they also said this last spring break they had, there was more kids down in Mexico than there has been in years past. And especially with all the people that they're kidnapping and whatnot down there. But that just goes to show you that we're in the last days. People are not thinking. We talked about this morning. People, they just don't do right. And they don't see anything wrong with it. Well, you know what? These people on this list are the exact same way. And you hear about them every day in the news. When's the last time you picked up a paper and you didn't see some bad news usually on the front page? When's the last time you didn't watch you turn on, we watch the news every morning, right before we get ready to go to work. When's the last time you turn on the news and there wasn't something bad? They'll say, good morning, we have no bad news for you today. They're never going to say that. That's never going to happen. Because there's always something going on. There's always something bad happening. Brother Frank told me about one of his daughter's friends, 14 years old. 15 years old, committed suicide. I asked Brother Frank yesterday, I said, what in the world would be going on in a 15-year-old child's life that'd be so bad? It's just the devil. The devil. The devil just, if he doesn't care. The devil is no respecter of persons. He doesn't care if he can get in wherever he can get in, and if he can destroy whoever he can destroy, he's going to do it. He doesn't care. That's why we have to guard our hearts. That's why we have to guard our lives. That's why we have to stay close to God. I was getting ready in my office tonight to change clothes in the office. So I came back and put the clothes back on, and I was thinking, God, please draw me closer to you. As I was going on the message, please draw the church closer to you, God, because I noticed that there were several people missing. I told you about my class this morning. Usually I have between 27 and 30. I had 9. I was thankful for the 9, but I thought, what's going on? What happened? Where are all these people at? You know what? I know I'm the pastor, and it's kind of, maybe it's a little bit different deal, but I'll probably miss church on a Sunday probably once during the year. Maybe. Last year we missed once. We went on our anniversary. We went over to the beach. We stayed for 2 nights, or 3 nights, or 4 nights. Wow. Year before last. But anyways, we stayed right on the beach. You walk right downstairs, right on our room onto the sand. That wasn't that great because you get sand all on your feet and all back in the room. But anyways, we had a good time. And you know what? But the thing is, we got to guard our hearts. We got to guard our lives. We got to guard our children. Brother Frank, he was talking about, one of his children was going to go to a party, and he told her, I said, well, would you let her go? And he said, no, I'm trying to guard them I'm trying to shield them as long as I can. I said, yeah, because when they get old, when they get 18, 19, 20, I said, they're going to do what they want anyway. I said, but if you train them right and you show them, you explain to them, don't just say, no, you're not doing it, but let's explain to them, this is why I don't want this to happen. I told you, what was the last Sunday night about how parents will block off 10 rooms in a hotel, the Red Lion, last year. And then the kids, after they went to the prom, they were hauled in a limo and they all went back. Now, and you have teenage kids, boys and girls. 10 motel rooms, no parents. Probably played Monopoly all night. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? What are people thinking? That's without natural affection. You know what? We need to guard our children. We need to make sure, we need to, and you know what? If the Bible says train up a child the way it should go when they're old, they won't depart from it, I believe that most of them will come back. Because they knew at one time, you taught them at one time what was right and what was good, and don't allow them to get involved in some of the stuff, You know what? I told my kids, be a kid. As long as you can be a kid, you got the rest of your life to work. I messed up. I started working when I was 12 years old. I haven't stopped working since, but I was just chasing that dollar, right? And I just wanted to work. I just wanted to work. That's all I thought about. Well, you know, I'm in a house with a pastor or a father that, you know, he was just all, you know, he worked all his life when he was young, and I thought, well, I'm going to do it too. You know, get some money in the bank. And what I do, I spend it all in the bank. He always said, give 10% to God, give 10% to Gary, and then when you're 65, you'll be set. Well, I'm still haven't gotten quite to that 10% to Gary, but I'm giving that 10% to God. So hopefully I'm 65, I'll be set. But anyway, but you know what? The thing is, it's scary what the world, how the world is so far off the mark.
Right.
And how people just don't, they don't even think about it. You know what? You know what would just break your heart. Break your heart. When Harrison and I had lunches last week, he goes up with Campus Crusade to East High. He said he's the old guy. He's a grandpa from there. But he has a lot of young people that work under him, and they try to reach the young people. He said, Gary said he's so sad watching the kids come out of that school at the end of the day. He said, I think last week, he said I saw 15 girls pregnant. Freshmen, sophomores in high school. He said, I saw so many wannabe gangbangers come out of there, you know, with their pants all hanging down, and, you know, and the tattoos all over themselves, you know, thinking that doing a little stint in jail or prison would be awesome. He said, you know, it just breaks your heart. How far people are off nowadays. How far off the mark they are. How blinded they are by the devil. How the devil has got in there and has tricked them into thinking that all this terrible nonsense that's going on is great, and it's not. And I'm telling you, if my daughter if she was in a motel room and I found out about it, I'd go down there and I'd snatch her ball head and I'd beat that boy senseless. I'm telling you, I would. I may go to jail, but he's going to have I'll take my belt off, bend him over, I'm going to whoop that boy good. You be right there next to him, says, I've been whooping you too. I'm telling you, that just made that, I can't believe that. And you know what? I've worked with some people at the prison when I was working there that they had the kids, they had that stuff for their kids. Or, you know, or on spring break, they'd send their kids over to Pismo. They get them a motel room, a nice motel room in Pismo, or they have a house full of them. Some parents were going together and send their kids over to Pismo, a whole house full of them. Now, what do you think's going on? Underage drinking? Drugs? No. When it gets dark, what's going on? I don't even want to think about that. And these parents say, yeah, my kids just love me to death. No, they don't. They're just using you and you're a sucker. Now they love you because you have no control over them, you have no restraint over them, you have no rules in your house. And they love that. But you know what? When they get older and they have kids and they do the same way, they'll be hating life. Yeah. Wishing that they had been taught right. Yeah. So they said, I've got about, well, Boston, how old are you, Boston? 22? He still lives in my house. He's going to live right. Yeah. He's going to be here when church is going on. I don't care if he worked all night. He's going to be here. He don't work all night. But you know, they know that. There's no question in that. They're going to be here. And you know what? I don't care. You know, you're not going to, I told you before, my kids don't just go to just anybody's house and stay the night. I need to know their mom and dad. I need to know what's going on in that house. I need to know what's going on with those kids they're with, they're hanging out with. Every time they come home, they come in. And they come home, open the door and say, I'm home. Just having a good sleep. I'm home and I wake up. That's it. If I get woken up during the night, I'm up. I mean, I'll toss and turn and think, what they have. So sometimes Nolan will come home. He has play practice. So he's got several days during the week. He'll come home sometimes at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. I walk in, I'm home. Where you been? Electric light. I was in practice. Practicing what? I'm going to play, remember? Oh, yeah. Who's there? The cast members. I mean, who are they? I don't know. But, you know, because you know what? I want him to do right. And I want to try and guard him and protect him as long as I can, because there's going to be a time when I'm not going to be able to protect him. I'm not going to be able to be there for him. I'm not going to be able to say, don't do that. You know, think, man. Just think for a minute. Don't do that. Don't let yourself get involved in that. Don't let the devil convince you of that. Don't let the devil lie to you about that. You know what? Just think about what you're doing and don't allow the devil to creep in, because he is creeping in. And he's stealing our young people right and left. And you know what I'm telling you? Go over Shafter High. You sit in the park when Shafter High gets out. It just breaks your heart how some of the kids are. And you know what? And the language that they use, I'm thinking, you kiss your mother with that mouth? That's terrible. But you know, they don't think about it. Don't even think about it. It doesn't even cross their mind how how they used, the terrible, filthy words. And the thing is that how the girls use those terrible, filthy words doesn't even bother them. Man, I'm telling you, if we're not careful, we're going to lose our kids, we're going to lose our family, and we're going to lose this church. We have the bylaws. We will not marry two homosexuals. We will not let homosexual or lesbian that's professing become a member of this church. And I'm going to stand by that as long as I can. And I'm not going to do it. When they show up, I pray every day. When somebody comes in, I pray, what are we looking at here? Who's this person? What's their background? Not that they're, homosexual or whatever, but just what are we looking at here? This may be somebody that destroys us. It splits our church right open. Whenever I see somebody, I'm glad that visitors come, but I always pray, God, please be with us. Please guard our church, guard our people from this. Because I don't want something to happen that will steal somebody, snatch somebody out of our congregation and then drag them to hell. God, please be with us. Because this stuff we just read is going on every day around us. We live in a nice little town, but you know what? We are not exempt of it. The devil is everywhere. And the devil is in every place. And he's hiding out. And the Bible says he's a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And you know what he's going to devour? He's going to devour the weak ones, the ones that aren't prayed up, and aren't packed up, and aren't ready to go up, and aren't reading their Bible, and aren't praying, and aren't witnessing. That's what the devil, he's going to dump on them. He's going to tear them apart. And before they know it, they'll be done. They'll be doomed to hell. And we could have done something about it. I told you this morning, I read that verse to you. The angels in heaven rejoice when one lost soul is brought to Jesus. When's the last time you witnessed to somebody? I witnessed to a lady last week in Albertson. Said, "You're going to pay for that bag?" I'm telling you, she felt convicted right there. She said, I know. She snapped right back in there. I knew she felt bad. I almost said, I hope those grapes go sour in your stomach. But I didn't say that. But man, I'm telling you, that kind of stuff just drives me crazy. And I don't know why. It's just, we're going shopping. I love to go shopping with my wife. We spend time together. But I watch people. I watch people. You know what I got her? I got her with flashlights. We need to have somebody come to my house and be a volunteer to see if the really doc's a guy down before I get. Well, I need to see it.
Don't put it on.
No, but this is why every woman in this church got $12. It's a flashlight. Look at that. Flashlight, see it? Flashlight. But then the guy gets some coats. Amazon.com. It's called Bible Check. Every woman in this church needs to get one of them. Some of you guys should do. You also. I mean, you know what? Not to you. I told us, let's try it on a cat. I said, what about your dog? She said, well, they won't be able to tell you how it works. I said, well, I'll watch them and fall down on the floor. Yeah, it works. But you know what the thing is? I think every lady should have one of those. Yeah, that sound would scare me to death. Yeah. Me and Brother Robert and I, Brother Jesse, we said we put a video for our CCW. I go places that are scary. But I don't know people. I don't know what I'm walking into. Some of these hospitals at night, these preachers walk around the parking lot. Or these guys are looking for just something, anything, call it to your car. We went through a class and went out there and shot the guns. Shot the guns and you brought your gun and you shot it. There's half guys, half women in our class, huh? One gal, she worked for the sheriff's department, she was all playing time. But you know what? Because the world that we live in, not so you'll never see it. You're never going to see it on me. I don't have it on me right now. You'll never see it. But you never know what's going to happen. You never know when I'm stopped at a stoplight in Los Angeles with my family, what's going to happen. We were at the bank and a guy comes up and taps on the window. Abby said, Dad. I said, what? Whoa, what do you want? I tapped on the window. I told you about that. Opened the door, he wanted a specific amount of money. But how what if he yanked me out of the car and said, I'm taking this car and I'm taking your wife and these kids and your daughter and I'm gone. It's just the type of world that we live in. We have to be careful. We have to guard our lives and guard our hearts walking through Manor Park. They're walking on the sidewalk, and they're walking on the sidewalk, and this guy comes over, and Abby spotted him. She's like, what, yeah. Mom, here comes that guy, comes over this. And I said, where? Because it was dark. The guy's coming towards us, and he said, hey, can you help me? I'm stranded. And Will said no, and he said, hey, I'm not one of those kind of guys. And Abby said, yes, you are. He said, can you help me? I'm stranded. No. And they took off. Well, he went over and got in the car, and they followed him.
Yeah.
They ran over to Tony's house. They took off running. Boy, they were going to go for a walk, and it turned into a run. I said, they weren't going to take their phones. Thank God Abby took her phone. She called Tony and said, you know what, we were coming to your house. Well, I don't know what she said, but anyway, and that guy, they didn't want to come back to my house. They wouldn't bring that bad guy back over where we live. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what do you think? He's just going down the blocks. You just don't know. You just don't know. That's Shafter. That's a little Mayberry there, huh? Shafter. You know what? That stuff's going on.
Right.
All the time. You know what? When I'm riding with the police, I'll be riding this Friday night. If there's certain cars that will stop, and there's certain cars that don't worry about it. But them little lower vehicles, you know, not the stereotyping, but if we have a reason to stop them, we'll stop them. And you know what? Every time we stop them, we got something to shoot at. You know, it's really scary when you pull out of the car and there's a gun in the seat with a bullet in the chamber around the fire. That's scary. Because the officer walks up on the driver's side, I walk up on the passenger window, I just shine my light into the back, corner panel of the back window to see what's going on in the back seat. We always check the trunk. He checked the trunk, I checked the trunk, because he's going to pop open, so he's going to jump out and start shooting at you. Pulled this one car over and pulled the guy out, the guy had a warrant. Pulled the other guy out, he was okay, we sent him on the sidewalk. And the officer said, go and take a look at that car, see what you got in that car. 3 half-drink cans of beer, and their gun sitting right on the front seat. I didn't know what to say. I said, we got a gun, brother. And he said, where? I said, on the front seat. So he came up and he picked it up. He said, we got one in the chamber in 490. That's the kind of world we live in. Yes, guy, why do you have a gun? For protection. Why is the serial number file lost? Well, I'm back from the guy for $20. Protection. Protection against who? The cops? The guy driving the officer said, no, just other people. He smelled me in and he said, how many times you fired this gun? A couple times. Who act? Just practice. We got back in the car. Wilk said, fellow's here. He said, you know what? Pastor, that could be you and me. It's a practice on you and me. When they walked up, he never gets right in the window. He's always standing back so he can see with that flashlight in there. That's the kind of world that we live in, please. That's the kind of world. Sister Becky's had people messing around her house, freaking her out. All the time, I asked off from Holster about that. So you guys get me over there. Becky Sharp's house. I said, no, we're military. Looking, watching. I'm telling you people, we need to be careful. Well, number 2, give him your talent. Look at Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 is where I'm going to start. You look there, just listen. For the kingdom of heaven is a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, and unto another 2, and to another 1. And to every man according to his several abilities, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had the 5 talents went and traded with some, and made another 5 talents. And likewise he had 2. He also gave another 2. But he that received the 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. And after a long time the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with him. He said unto he that received the 5 talents, and he brought another 5 talents, and said, Lord, Thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. And he said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. And also he received the 2 talents, came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. And he said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. And he that had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, and reapeth where thou hast not sown, and gathereth where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and I went and hid the talent in the earth. And lo, though thou hast is thine. Verse 26. He said, and his Lord said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and I gather where I strawed not. And thou ought therefore to have put the money to the exchangers, or to the bank or whatever. And then when I come, I will receive mine own with usury, or with interest. Take therefore thy talent from him. Take therefore the talent from him and give it to him that had 10 talents. And I realized this story was about money. But you know what? Several of us just want to have a talent. Have something that we can do for God. It may not be, it's not everything you do for God is not maybe going to be exactly comfortable, but we still can do it. You know what? Because when Jesus died on the cross, I don't think it was comfortable, but he still did it. If you don't use what the Lord has given you, the Lord may take it away. Just like people say that they learn to play an instrument in school, but they don't have a clue how to play it now. If they would have used that talent and learned it more and more for the Lord, the Lord would give them more talents. I remember when Austin came out and said, Hey, listen to this. Played a song. I said, Where did you learn that? YouTube. You can learn anything off the internet. I said, What? He said, Yeah, I just watched the video on YouTube, learn how to play the song. And now they're singing. Him and Destiny are singing. Because God's given adding more talents to them. And that's the way I believe it works. You have those talents because God saw fit to give them to you. Don't lose the talents the Lord has given you. I had a friend of mine, Brother Gary Brunson, that came. Him and Kevin, that came to Dad's funeral. Also, he spoke at the funeral. We had a guitar at the house, and I said, Play something. He said, Brother, it's been so long, I don't think I could. He said, I lost it because I didn't use it. I said, What? We used to go to the house and play guitars. I used to play guitars. We'd sing gospel hymns till 3 hours in the morning. Let's sing it, we take a song, so we take a songbook, and we've got a whole bunch of it from a church, and we just sing, and they play, and I said, pick it and grin, I'm telling you. But they said, no, I can't play anymore, I lost it. Yeah. I said, you need to be ashamed of yourself. He said, I am. He said, I've lost it. Well, number 3, God has a treasure in store for you. Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. What's important to you? Are your kids important to you? Is your family important to you? Are the people of this church important to you? I hope so. We need to guard our hearts, guard our children, guard one another, watch out for one another. The treasure God has for us is eternal life, is in heaven. That's when, you know what? When we arrive, we'll receive that treasure. That will be the treasure beyond any expectation. It will be something that you will not believe. I can't even begin to describe it to you. Especially living in Kern County where it never rains, except yesterday. We didn't want the rain. Well, we wanted the rain, but we didn't want the rain yesterday. It's going to be something out of this world that our minds are not able to comprehend while we're in this world. Won't it be wonderful there, having no burdens to bear? To be with Jesus. The best part about all of it is that you'll be for eternity and you won't have to worry about smiling face the devil. That's right. You won't be able to affect us anymore. The devil will be in this place. Mark 9:44, where the word of God is not and the fire is not quenched, that's where he's going to be. What goes around comes around, pal. You give people a hard time, you're going to have a hard time for the rest of eternity. You can think about being better, you being better than God, because you'll have eternity to think about it. Well, in conclusion tonight, God's love for us is perfect. He knows our hearts and the way that we have been living while we're here, and He's seen our life, and if it's not pleasing in His sight, then we won't be spending eternity with Him in the next life. The list of people that won't be there, I've explained to you already some of them in the message, but look, we're just listening as I read Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. These are the people that also won't be buried. The fearful, the unbelieving. There's going to be so many people, I believe, that will stand before God and they say, I just didn't believe it. Well, we're sorry. Because all the unbelievers, the abominable, the murderers, the whoremongers, the sorcerers, the idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire, which is burning the fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Hebrews 9:27. And I'm closing. And as appointed man wants to die, but after that, it's the judgment. Every one of us is going to stand before God. Every one of us is going to give an account. And you know what? If you're not doing like you're supposed to be doing as far as your family's concerned, you're going to answer God for that. If you're not setting the right example that you're supposed to, you're going to answer God for that. Now, you know what? You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. But you know what? You do what you know is right. Because you don't want to lose that devil. Let's stand together. Go ahead, Lily. I want to give it out for you to come to old fashioned.